Hi guys, wanted to do a little video on, this is Andrew from Boxing Bros UK by the way. I wanted to do a little quick sort of 5 minute retrospective or kind of update on Ted Cheeseman, who's a good friend of Chris's, my co-host. And we were due to interview him, and you know he's still got some stuff going on, not for me to go into. He's going to be making a bit of a comeback, I believe, to boxing, which would be fantastic for boxing because he's an underrated boxer, and he showed that, and I'll talk about that a little bit as well in some of his fights. You know, he's an absolute warrior, brave man. Leaves it all in the ring. Sacrificed his life for the sport. You know, two-time international, super welterweight, you know, light middleweight champion, and a British title holder as well before he lost to Fitzgerald, and then won it back, I think, and then lost to Williamson. Anyway, I'm digressing. So I want to do a quick perspective on it because I think, you know, it's kind of highlights in the industry sometimes how it can be a brutal industry, certainly a brutal industry, not only in the ring but also the politics around it as well. But anyway, so Ted Cheeseman is still only 28. He's been out of the game for a few years now. His last fight was against Williamson. He had a bad TKO loss against Williamson. From Bermondsey, London, 3 and 1 draw, 10 KOs. And you know, he was certainly, wasn't he, being billed as you know, a big prospect. You know, he was doing really well and he was kind of rising, and he always kind of picked, you know, him and his team, he was managed. He was trained by Tony Sims, certainly in the Fitzgerald fight anyway. I'm not sure about some of the others, but I think he had Tony Sims for a little while. And when he took the fight against Sergio Garcia, you know, he went for the European title, and he come up short against him, drew against Conway, and then took the fight against Scott Fitzgerald. And that's what I wanted to touch on a little bit, because I think looking back, you know, and there was an IFL TV interview that come out, and Ted Cheeseman was clear. You can go and look at it. I thought it was a bit inappropriate because he was you know, he walked out the ring after, he was disgusted, he was distraught, and I'm not sure that would have been I'm not sure that was appropriate to be interviewing him when he was clearly in a very low point after. I think he needed a bit of time for reflection. But you know, a lot of people, even on the night I watched the fight back, and other than Johnny Nelson and I can't remember someone else, people had it maybe a draw. You know, certainly Ted Cheeseman won a lot of those early rounds. Fitzgerald wasn't expecting him to box on the back foot and counter punch, and then Scott Fitzgerald, who was clearly a bit flat on the night, and obviously his career's gone south with all these allegations. I think he's been found to be innocent, but anyway, that's another subject. But you know, Scott Fitzgerald came on strong at the end. Ted Cheeseman was tiring a little bit, and certainly Scott Fitzgerald probably won those last 3 or 4 rounds. But I think a draw probably would have been a fair result, and to have a rematch, maybe even I think I scored it. I had Ted Cheeseman maybe 1 point ahead. Perhaps I'm being a bit biased because I like him. Yeah, and so he had that. A lot of people kind of felt that it was super close, and maybe people felt that they wanted to see the kind of Anthony Fowler Fitzgerald fight again, and maybe, you know, I think certainly he felt it was a bit rigged and that there was a bit of favouritism. But I certainly know that the commentary team on the night, you know, was certainly talking highly of Ted Cheeseman. Anyway, I'm digressing. So yeah, but then he came back after that kind of heartbreak, and then he had some wars. He had a war with Eggington, didn't he? And then he had that great fight with Metcalf, and then he had that unfortunate TKO loss to Williamson, where he kind of went back to that kind of real front-footed style, you know, leaving it all in the ring. and we haven't seen him since, and he's got his personal battles, and that's not for me to talk about. And you know, hopefully we see him in again ring soon if he's kind of right and healthy. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to say on it. Really, I think he was a bit hard done by, and he's clearly seems to me to be a type of character, and Chris knows him a lot more, where he wears his heart on his sleeve a lot, and I can certainly identify that. I'm a bit like that as a person, and I think he maybe didn't get the decisions, certainly in terms of some of the fights, even going back to the Conway draw, you know, certainly didn't get some of the decisions, and maybe, I don't know, speculating a bit, but maybe he was maybe a little bit let down by the industry there. But I just wanted to say that, and you know, if you're fit and healthy and want to give it another crack in boxing, then I'm sure all us fans would love to see Ted Cheeseman back, because he'd still have a lot to offer. You know, he's only 28 years of age, and especially with all these Saudi cards and stuff now, I think he would deserve a massive payday, because that would certainly cheer up anyone's day. But anyway, I'll leave it there. Please like and sub if you like it. We're very new, and we're progressing quite quickly, and lots of stuff we want to do. And leave some comments as well. Tell me I'm full of shit and all that, or I'm on point, whatever. But yeah, Boxing Bros UK, and like and sub and all that if you want, or don't. Anyway, yeah, cheers.